What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to today's Raid Shadow Legends video, which is going to be about Faction Wars, more precisely the Barbarian Crypt. As you can see down here, I have managed to complete it, all 63 stars. And the team that I used is surprising. I didn't think it was going to work, therefore I did not actually record the run where it happened. Even though I did it on manual, I actually think I could do this on auto, and I'll show you guys a little bit of footage. So today I'm going to talk about this team. But before I get started, let me take 2 seconds to clarify something here, because I think this is a perfect example. When I say free to play, I simply mean that my account, like I've never spent money on Raid with this account. Therefore, I call myself free to play. Everything I do is free to play, right? But some of you guys might look at this and say, well, this is actual free to play, because we have farmables only champions here. We have free champions or freebies right here only, and 1 fusion, which is somewhat doable for a free to play player, but certainly not somebody who's just starting out. So I look at this and I'm like, okay, it's free to play. I did fusions, freebies, and farmables only as well. I just thought I'd put that out there. I thought it was pretty interesting that I got this build to work specifically. But anyway, nothing too crazy. I'm going to show you, like I said, all the champions, their gear and whatnot. But first, let's look at the run real quick. It is pretty long as well, even though most of this one was on auto. But it's still worth the look at real quick, and I'll explain to you guys what's going on. Basically, I just let it go, right? I click on one of the champions thinking this might speed it up, like whichever one is going to be more annoying. This guy has a res, it's Broadma, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I wanted to take him down as quickly as possible. So that's all I did to somewhat control this part of the fight. As for like the synergy between the champions, I wasn't really too concerned. It's simply like I use Haikatoon in the tag arena. I also use Sile of the Drakes. War Maiden I use in Dragon 20. Berserker I just had lying around from last year when I started playing, so I thought I'd just throw some gear on the guy, put him in there, see what happens. And then Kantra, we just got kind of leveled her to test her as a spider tank, but haven't been really using her whatsoever. So I put whatever pieces I had lying around. I think it's a frost. Anyway, we'll see what she looks like right after. So let's move on to the second wave. Same thing here. I clicked on the Man-Eater first. Thinking about it now, maybe I should have clicked on the Steel Skull first, but I just let that go as well. We are, I think, going to lose champions on this wave, but we've got our Sile of the Drakes, which are going to bring them right back up, and then we keep going. So same thing, not too complicated. Again, just kind of like chipping away at this wave. It does take a very long time. As you see, we're going on close to 5 minutes for the first 2 waves. Boss fight, kind of the same thing. I just clicked on one of the ad first and then let it go. All right, so pretty long here as well, but I really think you want to bring those 2 down, because they keep healing the boss and putting some buffs up. So I think it's a good idea. Just don't go straight for the boss. We do also lose some champions here. Sile of the Drakes brings them right back up. Sometimes I would lose 2, but Sile of the Drakes kept just bringing them back up, then healing them right over, and we kept going. So towards the end though, which I'll fast forward because this is going to be really, really long, I did at one point start controlling the fight, simply because I wanted Sile of the Drakes to res at the last second and then keep using her A1 so that we keep reducing the turn meter of the boss, as you just saw right there, because Sile of the Drakes does have that on her A1. So let's go right towards the end, which is basically here. So that's all I did. I did a little bit of controlling towards the end, like I said, to ensure that we get the res up at the last second, that we don't die like that, and then your res is on cooldown, and then you don't get to complete it with everybody being up, even though you know it could have been done, right? So that's what I do right there, and then instead of going into Sile's stun skill, we just keep using the A1 until the boss is down. So pretty straightforward, right? Let's go over the champions, the gear, and how I use all of these guys elsewhere in the game, okay? Alright, so the first one we're going to do is Kantra the Cyclone. Okay, as I said, I just had these pieces of gear lying around. This is my attempt to build her as a spider tank, so you need a lot of resistance so that you do not get the poisons. You also need a decent amount of speed, lots of defense, and the Frost set seemed like a decent option, especially since she works based out of extra debuffs right on the enemy champions or the spiderlings in this case. Also, if there's more than 5, then she might place a provoke. So overall, I thought, you know what, I have these extra pieces, might as well just put it on her. No skills are done, masteries are all done right here. We went for the extra resistance, but again, this might not be needed for Faction Wars 21. It's just the only other Barbarian that I had fully or somewhat built, right? Almost. Obviously, I'm not going to max out this gear if it's not needed or if I don't use her on a daily basis. Next one is Sal of the Drakes. This is a champion that I did mainly max out, right, to some extent for like I said, tag arena. Decent amount of speed, decent amount of defense. We probably have some defense, no, HP percent, defense, chest, sorry. Then we've got crit damage, amulet. So again, maybe this is not optimal. I was trying to put a shield set to get a little bit more survivability in the first couple hits of my slow team, right, for tag arena. All of her skills are completely done, and then here are the masteries that I'm using right now. Maybe going for the extra accuracy might be a little bit more important instead of a fearsome presence. But then again, if you don't have her in a stun set, you might want to get Fearsome Presence to increase your odds of placing that stun from her A2, at least for Tag Arena, alright? Next one is... what did we do? We did our Haikatune, which I just recently finished building for full speed as one of my speed leads for Tag Arena. As you can see, her gear is not all done either. Again, all I'm really looking for here is the maximum amount of speed that I can get on like a secondary speed leader, right? My Arbiter is my first one, Gorgrab kind of like the second, Haikatune would be somewhat of the third one. So as for the gear, it really didn't matter. As long as I had speed, I was good with it. So right now we have a resistance chest, that's all I had. Decent amount of speed rolls on there, right? So the rest is speed. We have crit damage, defense, HP banner, again, just looking for that speed. All the skills are maxed out in this champion. And here are the masteries. I think I did this for clan boss purposes. I wanted to test her, and I didn't want to change those masteries specifically for Faction Wars, and it worked, okay? So if anything, that goes to show you that you can maybe play around with this, make it even a little bit better. Then we've got our War Maiden, who masteries are also never changed from when I used her against a clan boss last year, right? Skills are obviously all done. As for her gear, again, she's tuned for Dragon 20 in my nuke build, okay? So I don't intend on changing this whatsoever. I was hoping that it was going to work, and it did, so not going to touch it. Good enough. Then the final one is our Berserker, which, like I said, is leftover gear, right, to some extent. We do have decent-ish stats, but it could be a lot better. 123 speed, because why not? I don't need this guy to be really fast. I just need him to hit hard to some extent. Okay, that's why. We got some attack percent boots. It had a little bit of speed, I guess. Attack, maybe I was just trying to get the bonuses from the sets, right? We got crit rate gloves. That's all I had, I guess. Maxed out weapon here. A little bit of crit rate from that set right there. We've got attack, crit damage, attack. This guy does not need accuracy. He does not have any debuffs, so again, you can kind of just focus on getting as much attack as possible, crit rate and crit damage. And then for the masteries here, they are not sure what I'm doing here. Maybe I could go into the defense tree line instead, but hey, it works. Flawless execution, all right? Also, I will take the time to show you guys the Great Hall because it will affect my stats overall, right? So you got to factor this in if you want to compare my stats with your stats. So anyway, all that being said, guys, here it is. My second Faction Wars completed on the free-to-play account with freebies, fusions, and farmables only. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.